Anytime you drove down a city street or if you drove down a country road and you passed by a home that had black crepe on the doorknob, then you knew someone in that house had passed away. Now, I'm sure that most of you people have been in an older home where they had pocket doors. They went back into the wall, and they usually were big oak doors. They would be drawn together. The parlor in an old home was only opened for special occasions. If the minister came to call on you on a Sunday afternoon, you would entertain him in the parlor. If I came to visit you and you took me in the parlor, that meant I rated pretty high in your estimation. They would have a lot of family weddings in the parlor, and of course, naturally, they had their funerals in the parlor. Now, if you passed away one day, your funeral was the next day, because there absolutely was no embalming whatsoever. Coffins were made like this. They were bulged out at the elbows, and you could have a glass plate in the coffin so that you could only see the person's face, and you did not see any other part of them. And there was always a panel that was closed before the coffin was buried. Now, you will notice in here that the coffin is not in symmetrical position for the window. See, the only thing that they had was candles and Aladdin lamps for lighting. And so they wanted the coffin to be pulled down this way so that daylight would come in and you could see the person much better. Now, this lady who's wearing this dress, she was Annie Campbell Horned, and not haunted, H-A-U-N-T-E-D, but Horned, H-A-R-N-E-D. And she had lost her husband in the late 1800s. They were a very, very, very prominent family in Washington. The house still stands, the old Horned house, and the Horned Avenue goes in front of the house. There was a street named for them. Now, this dress that she wore during her husband's funeral, now it was no state law, but it was a very strong tradition. If a lady lost her husband, and every time she stepped outside of the house for 6 months, she had to wear black. Like I say, it was no law, but it was a very strong tradition, and I don't know what they would have called the lady if she would have stepped out without wearing black. But anyway, this is the dress that she actually wore when her husband passed away. Now, it was in the late 1800s. Now, if you would take your clothes off today and put them in a closet and let them hang for 130 years, I'm sure they would be very fragile. And we just like to never got this garment on this mannequin. But for some reason, the people in her family had handed this down for several generations, and they wanted it displayed in our funeral display, and we thought that this would be the best place to put it. So this is the actual dress that Annie Horned wore during her husband's funeral, and every time she had to go out of the house, she did wear black. I'm sure she didn't wear this same dress, but she had to wear black.